Hello everybody, it is Ursa and welcome to my channel. How are you doing? I hope you're doing great. Today I'm going to share my personal experience about preparing homemade baby food from fresh organic ingredients with you. So have you lost ideas about preparing food for your baby or simply don't know how to start with the whole process? This is definitely something for you. I'm going to show you how I make baby food for my 1-year-old son for about a month or so, and it is ready in about an hour or two if you include the food prepping. And just a little disclaimer here, this is only my way of preparing food. I'm not a professional nutritionist. This information is just what I learned from my own research about preparing baby food. Maybe you want to do it differently. Every parent should make their own research what is best for their baby. So with that being said, let's just jump right in. I buy all the ingredients at the local farmer's market or in the organic food shop. I like to buy fresh, seasonal local veggies and fruits. I started with solids when my baby was 6 months old and I started with purees. After a few weeks, I switched to the baby-led weaning method and now I do the hybrid of both methods, so baby-led weaning and purees as well. My son is now 1 year and 2 months old and still likes some foods to be pureed, and he likes to take some foods in his hands to eat as well. I learned that no approach is right and the other wrong. Parents should decide what way is most comfortable for them to prepare baby food. If you do purees, you don't have to spoon feed your baby, you can simply preload a spoon and give it to your baby to feed herself. I find that a lot of parents start with purees and then soon begin to add the baby-led weaning method. This is the way we did it too, and it still works for us best. By the age of 1, babies should already eat 3 main meals, breakfast, lunch and dinner, and 2 to 3 snacks a day. If the baby is breastfed, breastfeeding is still highly beneficial, providing key nutrients and immune support. I'm still exclusively pumping. My baby wouldn't latch on as a newborn, but I reduced the pumping to 3 times a day now with no night pumping. When preparing meals, you should incorporate 3 food groups for a balanced meal. 1 protein food, 1 carb food, and 1 fruit or veggies. For snacks, you can incorporate only 2 food groups, but make sure that the food you offer is iron-rich food. Next in priority are healthy fats, which are so important for optimal brain development. When building a balanced plate, you should put in the biggest box of the silicone or bamboo divided suction plate, like this one, a high-calorie dense food. These are carbs like quinoa, pasta, potato, and fats like avocado, butter, coconut or olive oil, nut butter, seeds, full-fat dairy, and so on. Then in the 2 smaller boxes of the plate, an iron-rich food and a vitamin C-rich food. By the age of 6 months, baby's iron becomes depleted, and at the same time, their iron need increases drastically to support their rapid growth and development. This is why it is crucial to begin with solids at that age, since nutrients from breast milk aren't sufficient anymore. This is why I encourage you to focus on including an iron-rich food at every meal. Best iron-rich foods are beef, chicken, lentils, beans, tofu, oatmeal, quinoa, eggs, salmon, sardines, peas, pumpkin seeds, and sweet potatoes. Body absorbs animal-based, so-called hemp iron foods most efficiently. However, plant-based, so-called non-hemp iron are also very important. Pairing plant-based iron sources with vitamin C-rich foods will help with iron absorption. Animal-based iron sources are, for example, shellfish, organ meats, beef, pork, chicken or turkey. Plant-based iron sources are, for example, legumes, spinach, quinoa, broccoli, and iron-fortified cereal. Vitamin C-rich foods are, for example, bell peppers, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, tomato, strawberries, potatoes, squash, mango, spinach, broccoli, and so on. So if you do, for example, only beans for lunch and no meats, then be careful to serve also some vitamin C-rich food like bell peppers for lunch. Zinc is also like iron, very important for growth and immune system. Zinc-rich foods are, for example, meat, dairy, legumes, grains, nuts, seeds, and so on. And also don't forget to supplement the baby each day with vitamin D. I supplement with these great vitamin D baby drops. They're from iHerb, and you should give 400 IU a day, and after 1 year, 800 IU a day. You should also begin to introduce the allergens at this age, since introducing them early on and often can help prevent food allergies from developing. Main allergens are cow's milk, eggs, finned fish, peanuts, sesame, shellfish, soy, tree nuts, and wheat. In today's video, I'll be cooking chicken, peas, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, carrots, bell peppers, quinoa, and we will also make some lentil beet hummus and apple pear plum sauce. Then we will store the food and talk about how to serve the food to the baby and look at some yummy meal ideas. So let's go! Here I have already rinsed and chopped chicken thigh meat as a protein source. You should leave chicken chopped to bigger and longer pieces, approximately the width and length of an adult index finger, to prevent choking. It is better to feed dark meat since it contains more fat, iron and zinc than white meat. It is perfectly safe to feed babies meat, but it must pass the squish test. You should be able to mash it between your thumb and forefinger. And babies do not need teeth to chew on meat. They can do this with their very strong gums. It is also very important that meat is tender and moist. You can leave the skin on and then remove it before serving to the baby. You should brown meat on all sides first on a high temperature and then cook it to completion on low heat in the slow cooker, oven, instant pot or pressure cooker like I do, and cook the meat with some water added. Feel free to flavor the meat with seasonings. Your baby will love it. When it's done, you remove skin and check the squish test. You then remove the meat from the broth and keep the broth. You will serve the meat always soaked in some kind of sauce or broth to prevent choking. If you don't feel good about serving meat baby-led weaning style, you can easily blend the chicken with some broth and serve it pureed. I place broth in the silicone containers and freeze it. I flash freeze the meat pieces. I put them on the tray or parchment paper in the freezer for about 1 to 2 hours so that it won't stick together and preserve more nutrients, and that way I can take piece by piece out to thaw. Here we have some rinsed cauliflower, carrots, Brussels sprouts and bell peppers. I will show you the best way to cook veggies so that all the nutrients are preserved. I place the chopped veggies to the baking tray with some olive oil. I season it with some rosemary, turmeric and vegetable powder and then pour some water in the tray. Then I place an aluminium foil over the tray so that veggies remain soft when cooked. Baked at 350 degrees, veggies will be ready in about 40 minutes. Just check if it's already soft with a fork before taking it out of the oven. I usually puree some veggies so that I have it on hand when on the go. Today I'm making carrot puree. I put the cooked carrots to my NutriBullet and add some water. Then I freeze it in silicone containers. You can serve pureed carrots mixed, for example, with some yogurt as a spread on a slice of bread and serve as a snack to your baby. You can always use frozen veggies or fruits. It is much simpler since you only need to cook it and then freeze it. Today I'm cooking frozen peas. They are cooked in about 15 minutes. I leave some peas as they are and freeze them, and I puree some. Pureed peas can be mixed with some quinoa, bulgur or couscous, and this makes a very healthy snack. Now let's make some grains. Today we will cook some quinoa. Before cooking, you rinse it under the water, then place it in a pan with some water added, and season it and then cook it for about 15 minutes, and that's it. Very easy and convenient. I cook also other grains like bulgur, couscous, kamut, millet, buckwheat, barley, amaranth, spelt and oats. For example, I make spelt groats and buckwheat groats for dinner, Just season it with some cinnamon and cocoa powder and it tastes delicious. Or I make oatmeal with some fruits for breakfast. I also make my own bread for my baby and I make it usually with spelt or rye flour. And regarding rice for the babies, I use it very rarely because it contains arsenic. Rice contains inorganic form of arsenic, which body processes differently than organic arsenic, and that makes it more hazardous to the body. Rice crackers, rice cereal, and rice milk, often given to infants as their first food, could all contain arsenic. So you can try giving them multigrain or oatmeal-based cereal instead. Here I have some fresh pears, plums and apples, and we're gonna make some very delicious and healthy plum, pear and apple sauce. And we're gonna add some flavor to it with cinnamon and some nutmeg. Before blending, you pour out some liquid, not all, since you will need some liquid to puree. And you use that extra liquid for some delicious fruit tea. You can also use the hand blender to puree food. You don't have to always put everything to the NutriBullet. I find that very convenient because that way you save some dishes for washing. And now we're gonna make some lentil hummus with beet. Here we have about 1.5 cup of lentil, 2 medium-sized beets already cooked, 2 spoons of olive oil, 2 spoons of lemon juice, and 2 spoons of tahini. Tahini is a great spread out of sesame. It is very, very healthy and very, very tasty. After cooking, I freeze the food in these cool silicone containers with lid, which freeze the food into perfect baby food portions. The frozen food is removed very smoothly from these containers. I take 1 food portion out from the freezer to the fridge the night before using it. That way it is de-thawed slowly and this reduces the risk of bacteria. Before serving, you have to make sure that the food is heated up to the proper temperature. You shouldn't serve the food directly from the fridge. Proper temperature to safely feed the baby is room temperature. Then you pack the food into freezer bags. I find these zipper freezer bags the most convenient. I have 3 liter and 1 liter. Then you of course mark what you've packed. You can also pack the frozen food into these silicone freezer bags. This one is from Stasher. You can also freeze the food to these little bags. These are plastic, but they are BPA free and they are reusable. I find these also very, very handy. So this is everything for today's video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. As you could see, baby food making is easy and is fast, and it is much more convenient than buying all that baby food in the store. Plus, that way you save so much money. We prepared baby food for a month or so, and it was prepared in about an hour or two if you include food prepping. And when you will see the smile on your baby's face when she eats food that you prepared yourself, it is also very, very rewarding. So, that's it for today. Leave me a comment below and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!